1474. As the cold and harsh air of Hungary seeped into the room, a young painter struggled to hold his brush with trembling fingers. He had to paint the man sitting before him, but the stern gaze of the man made it impossible for his hands to calm. This man was no ordinary ruler. Some said he was a hero capable of standing alone against the Ottoman armies and doing anything for his country. Others saw him as a merciless devil, a fearsome tyrant who impaled thousands to build an empire of terror. And now, this legend sat silently before the painter. He had a sharp nose, rigid features that cut his face like a sword, and unblinking green eyes that revealed no emotion. He was the son of the dragon, Dracula. After years of being held captive, he was about to taste freedom. The painter knew that the story of the man before him was one of Europe's darkest sagas. Today, when we say Dracula, vampire stories come to mind, but the real story is far darker and more chilling than any fiction. Vlad's life is recorded in history as a tale written in blood and brutality, demonstrating both a nation's struggle for freedom and how human rage can transform into power. Everything began during Vlad's father's time. The Order of the Dragon, founded by Hungarian King Sigismund, was considered Europe's last line of defense against the Ottomans. When Vlad II was accepted into this order, he received the title Dracul, meaning dragon. This title became a symbol of power and fear for his family. Young Vlad II was no ordinary prince raised as a hostage in the Hungarian court. He was well educated, trained in combat, and keenly observant of political affairs. His story would shape his son's destiny as well. Vlad's homeland, Wallachia, was in complete political chaos. Nobles constantly fought for power, and the ruler on the throne changed frequently. Betrayals, secret deals, and endless succession wars were so common that Vlad's childhood was anything but peaceful. It was not difficult to predict what kind of ruler a child raised in such turmoil would become. As part of a political agreement, Vlad and his brother Radu were sent as hostages to the Ottoman Empire. This was a common practice at the time to secure alliances. Radu was well loved by the court, charming, intelligent, and handsome. It was no wonder he was called Radu the Handsome. Vlad, however, was the opposite: rebellious, stubborn, and questioning. He was often punished at the court, but the punishments hardened him rather than tamed him. Within the dark walls of the palace, he began to study for revenge. How is power gained? How is fear spread? How is war waged? These years laid the dark foundation for the massacres he would carry out later. In 1447, Vlad's father and older brother were killed by the Hungarian commander John Hunyadi. This news was not merely a loss for Vlad, it was a shattering blow to his soul. From that moment, he thought of only one thing: revenge. Although he was able to ascend the throne with Ottoman support, he ruled for only 2 months. Young and surrounded by untrustworthy allies, Vlad had to flee, beginning another period of exile. During this time, he moved to Moldavia and then Transylvania. In this fragile era where enemies could become friends and friends could become enemies, he learned how to survive. He endured. He waited. He waited for the right time for revenge. When the opportunity came, Vlad struck like a storm. It is said he even killed his rival Vladislav in a duel to claim the throne. From that moment on, he became the sole ruler of Wallachia. But this was not the ascension of a ruler. It was the beginning of revenge. Vlad first dealt with the nobles who had long entangled the country in political strife. On Easter, he invited them all to his palace. Tables were set, meals prepared. But this was no feast, it was a punishment ceremony. The young were sent to build fortresses by force. Most of the elderly were killed using the method that would forever etch Vlad's name into history: impalement. After this event, no one in Wallachia dared oppose Vlad. Vlad also refused to pay the tribute owed to the Ottoman Empire for years, and when Ottoman envoys came, he had them killed too. There was no turning back. Sultan Mehmed II marched toward Wallachia with a massive army. Vlad knew he would lose in an open battle against the Ottomans. So he employed guerrilla tactics, night raids, poisoning wells, and burning villages. And then came the scene that would be forever recorded in history: the forest of the impaled in Targovist. As the Ottoman army advanced, they came upon a forest. From a distance, it seemed like an ordinary grove. But as they approached, the truth revealed itself. Thousands of people, months earlier massacred, left to rot under the sun, impaled on stakes. This was not merely a massacre. It was a terrifying message from Vlad to the world. Anyone who wants to fight me will face this." The sight horrified even the Ottoman army. However, in the end, the nobles did not support Vlad and sided with his brother Radu. Vlad tried to escape to the mountains but could not change his fate. Sultan Mehmed II captured him and executed him.